Hello everyone, this is AK with AK's Garage. Alright, so I have all the bolts tightened up, torqued down. Now it's time to put that belt on. And after I put the belt on, I'm going to go down there, remove my tool that's holding the crank. And then I'm going to go down there and put the exhaust on. That's the last thing down there. O2 sensors are on. Let me tell you something about those O2s on this motor. On this car, these O2s, if they are tightened in and you getting ready to try to pull them out, and the car and the engine's still in the car, it's going to be pretty hard to get it out. It's not going to be easy. The only reason that I was able to take them off is because I was removing the heads. So when you remove the head, you can kind of move the head over this way and then get back there, unscrew it and pull it out. Same thing on this side. You know, after you get it off, you can pull this forward and then unscrew it and get it off. But I'm telling you, that is not nothing to play with. You could get your hand up in there to screw this one. No, this one. You could get your hand up in there. You can get your hand up in both of these. You could get your hand up in there, but there has to be a special tool out there that I don't have to reach up in there and grab that out. And this is going to be a Jaguar specific tool for that spark plug. I mean, O2 sensor. But anyway, it's going to be pretty tough to get out. So let me continue on. See, we're going to get this belt on right now. And then we'll move on to up under the car. Okay, so I've been sitting here working on it now, trying to get all the pieces together. As you see, I have the belt on now. Alternator's on down there. Power steering pump is all on down here. Check that out. Power steering pump down there is on. That's it. That's that pulley right there. The one up below is the AC. We got the crank. We have the belt tensioner, water pump, the pulleys, and all that stuff is on. Pan out here, you can check it out. See, I got the box on for the water, the antifreeze. New oil filter on. So everything here is on up here. I even got these set, ready to go. So I'm gonna put this intake box on right here. And then once I get that on, then I'm gonna go up under the car and get that the last few pieces under the car done. All right, I'm gonna get this on. Let's start on this thing over here. Get this on because I don't have the fan on yet, but we're just doing this to get to the point of testing the motor, making sure everything's good. That on. You have to have these mass airflow sensors hooked up for it to work right. That on. This holds on, and this one over here goes over here. All right. So all this is on. This is just enough. This is just for temporary, just to make sure everything works. Like I said before, I have everything down there on. All this is on. All the hoses, wires, all the fuses are in. So now we're at this point of getting up under there and taking care of the exhaust bolts. Make sure the O2s are on, and make sure everything under the car is buttoned up. Also, I already drained the oil and I put new oil in already. So we have new oil in here. Castor oil is what I like. Castor oil or mobile. If you look at this here, it says that it wants castor oil in here anyway, but castor oil is what I like. So anyway, I'm going to go up in here and take care of that. Okay, so it's time for me to get up under here and remove some things under here. So I'm gonna go down under here for you quick. Okay, so I'm up under here now. Let's get over here. Squeeze under here now. See this here. Get my light so you can see what's going on here. There we go. See this here hanging? That's the crank sensor there, so I need to remove that screw there. Here. Get this out of the block so I could put this, so I can put that back, crank sensor back in there. So here we go here. Get this off. So this is the tool that holds the keeps the crank from spinning when you put it at top dead center. One thing I say about this kit that I bought, it didn't go, you only go so far in on it. I'll show you when I get back to the top how far down it went. Alright, so I'm gonna stick this in there now. Alright. Get the screw on there. The screw's still stuck in the tool there. There we go. It's back in there, get it tightened down. So I came down here and I already got the exhaust just back on. All the bolts are tightened down on both. Oh, the nuts. There's nuts on these. Both of these are tightened in. Everything else is on. So now we in a position to turn the key, prime the engine, make sure everything's spinning good, and then get the fuel turned on, because I'm gonna have the fuel turned off. Then get the fuel turned on, then turn it again and see if we get a good crank. Right. So on the kit, it only went down, as you can see, it went down to about right here. So when I tighten it down, it stopped right there. So this is the little marks for the inside of that, inside the bell housing, or you can say inside the transmission, or inside the engine down there. You see how far it went? It didn't come all the way down flat on here, but it locked up in there, and it held it real well, even during tightening the crank bolt and everything. It held it real well, doing everything I had to do. Just did its job. Going to be priming this engine, so I got everything on, everything like that. Got it all set up, ready to do the priming. Only thing I don't have on yet is the electric fan, but everything else is on to do this job. Okay, so I pulled out some of the fuses already. I pulled out the this one here is the fuel injector fuse here. I pulled that one out so the injectors won't ignite. And also in the back of the car I pulled out there's a fuse that sits up in here. I pulled it out. That one in here is for the fuel pump. So the fuel pump fuse back here, the fuel injector fuse is in the front. Okay, so so now I'm going to push the key, get inside the car, and I'm going to get inside the car, and I'm going to push the button and prime the engine and try to get the engine oiled up so we can get ready for the start. Okay. All right. Okay, so I turned the engine a couple times now, try to get it oiled up. It looks like oil was, I already checked here, just seen there was a little oil coming up in here already. So we are getting oil at the top of the motor. So the oil pump is working. So now at this point, I could go ahead and stick this fuse in and try to see if it cranks, okay? All right, this is the fuse that go in here, is this one right here. Right, like I said, this one is for the injectors. This one is, and then we'll do the one on the back now. This is the fuse for this one. Goes right here. There we go. I think that's F25, by the way, on the back here. Okay, now I'm gonna go in here. And try to start the car up now, and try to see if it'll start. Everything's put back together. The prime is done, and so let's do this first start. Okay. Can't tell me. You can't tell me. That's very exciting for me. You know, after you do this big engine job like this, you go in and you mess with timing chains, head gaskets, and everything like that. When you do something like that, for me, I don't know anybody else, but for me, when I do it, it's always a little bit of a rush to me, or the heart starts beating because I've been all the way through the motor. Even though I hit all the points, it still bothers me where I get to that point where like, okay, did I tighten it down? Okay, did I put it in the right spot? Okay, was everything right? You know, did I tighten all my bolts, screws, nuts? You know, it's always on my mind. It's bothering me. But as you can see, she cranked right up. So this is another episode of AK's Garage. Jaguar. Time to take it around the block. Time to do some heat cycles and make sure that this car is on point.